My name is Keisha Ivy. Welcome to Junior Achievement Hometown Heroes. In today's letter to myself, you'll hear how taking responsibility for your own success makes Greg Duckett a hometown hero. I can't wait for you to hear his powerful story.
Dear younger me, you have achieved things that you never knew of, let alone thought that you would be doing one day. From being the first and only African American president of the Student Bar Association at the University of Memphis School of Law, the youngest ever and first African American chief administrative officer for the city of Memphis, working on the Clinton-Gore presidential transition team, becoming a personal friend to former Vice President Al Gore, to being the first African American senior executive at Baptist Memorial Healthcare Corporation. All of this happened for a little kid who grew up in a low-income community in Memphis, Tennessee. You did all of this without having a blueprint to direct you towards your next step. You did this because of loving parents who were determined to see that their children were better off than they were. You did it because you had a dream. You were taught that education was the key to success. Having that as a backdrop, both you and your siblings sought to obtain the best education that you could. You didn't know or understand the financial position in which your family lived, with a father who was a custodian for the Memphis City school system, as well as working odd jobs to make ends meet. You didn't have the opportunity to dream beyond what you saw on a daily basis, yet you did. The biggest advice that I provide my younger self is to not let anyone's negative perception of you become your reality. I want my younger self to know that if you can dream it, you can become it. But it required a lot of hard work. That hard work during the first quarter of your life positioned you to enjoy the latter 3 quarters of your life. You had setbacks, but you learned from them. You didn't look for excuses to blame others for what you could control and change. The easy way out would have been to say things like, I could have done better if someone would have allowed me to do so. You realized that it was not someone else's responsibility to allow you to succeed, but it was your responsibility to be prepared to succeed. It is important to note that every day there were those who were happy for the success that you had achieved, and there are those who were envious of your success. Your challenge as you navigated your path was to not do anything that would allow those who did not want to see you succeed to pull you down. Growing up in an inner city community, I wish you would have had the benefit of having various individuals to help shape your life for professional growth. Our father had a dream for you to become a school teacher because that was his vision of success within the school system. When he learned that you wanted to become something other than a school teacher, he arranged for you to meet with the superintendent. That connection allowed you to see what it took to be a leader. Always look for those who can help mentor and guide you to your next step. This is important because not every goal sought will be achieved. The greatest gratitude I have for you is that through family, you always strived to be the best at whatever you were doing. That desire always positioned you so that even if you didn't get what you initially sought, you landed in a place that was better than where you were. Growing up and through law school, one of the biggest challenges was to meet and or exceed the academic requirements of school. You were told by one of your college professors that you should consider going to trade school. That served to motivate you to want to achieve even more. To my younger self, I say, understanding the difference between learning the subject matter and applying it as taught was one of the more difficult challenges for you. Specifically, with exam, you were told that you often quoted the principles or the law. However, often during your first semester, you didn't apply them the way the instructors had taught. That had an adverse impact on your grade point average. You took responsibility for the things that you could control. So rather than accepting this as a deficiency on your part, you met with each of your instructors to better understand what you had done incorrectly. This was taking responsibility for what you could control and not blaming others for your shortfall. Early in your life, you thought that being a leader was about telling others what to do. After becoming a leader, you learned that being a leader is about being a part of a team and getting your colleagues to do the things because they want to do it and not because they were told to do it. Leadership is about compassion and empathy. It is about developing a team that has a shared purpose. Lastly, as you continue to grow and move into the professional workforce, you never took no to mean never. It only meant that for some reason, that position was not available for you. You didn't attack the system. You learned the system and were better prepared for the next opportunity that surfaced. Or to say it another way, if you didn't like the rules of the game, you worked to get into a position where you could change the rule. The future was there to allow you to fulfill your dream, and so you did. And you still continue to do so. Sincerely, Greg Duckett.